Whoa. Oh, and we're live. Let's check the
We're live.
Let's check the button really quick.
We're live.
Boo boo boo. It's everything's on about a 20-second delay. Oh yeah, look at that.
That's fine.
We're good.
Yeah.
So maybe you can start the introduction.
We're live.
Okay.
It's everything's on about a 20-second delay. Oh yeah, look at that.
Mhm.
If you could mute your YouTube, we're good.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe you can start the introduction. Yeah, I'm not watching on YouTube. Okay.
It's everything's on about a 20-second delay. Oh yeah, look at that. If you could mute your YouTube, we're
Okay,
good.
let's start it. Maybe you can
Why so many echoes here?
Hooney, I think if you're on YouTube, it's going to be playing that audio.
So,
Just mute the YouTube link.
okay, like this.
Yep, just like that.
Okay. Okay, can we start?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay.
It's your show, so.
All right. Okay. Hello, everyone. So, welcome to our event. This is an event about Marvel cosplay. Today, we'll talk about your favorite Marvel character and movie. And we also going to discuss simple theory or insight of the cosplay. And we also have a small Q&A session. And lastly, we have some practical cosplay tips from our special guest, Thomas from America.
Hello.
Hi. So we're going to do some a personal introduction. So we are students who study creative business in the Netherlands. And we are interested in Marvel movies, contents, and also cosplay culture as well. So that's why we decided to host this event for first time. So my name is Sung-Hoon Cho. I'm from South Korea. My favorite Marvel movie is Rogan, and because I really like Wolverine, I really like the emotional details in the movie. So yeah, that's my favorite one. And can you tell me yours, Selena?
Yeah, sure. I am Selina. I'm from the Netherlands. I'm 22, and my favorite movie, I would say, is Avengers Endgame. And my favorite character is the Black Widow because she's such a badass.
Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Vidasova. I'm from Ukraine. I'm 19 years old. My favorite movie would be the first Avengers Civil War. And the favorite character, I think, Captain America.
Hello, my name is Soyoung Jung, and I'm from South Korea. So my favorite Marvel movie is Spider-Man. And about my favorite Marvel characters, I'm pretty sure you also know this phrase called "No Pain, No Gain." I recently realized it's from a Marvel character, which is Hulk. So my favorite Marvel character is Hulk.
Nice. So I heard that soon you have like a small session for what the participants' favorite character or movies. Could you
Yeah.
introduce?
So now we introduce ourselves and we introduce what is our favorite Marvel characters. So we want to know what is your favorite Marvel characters. So we are gonna send a link on the text on YouTube. So, we are gonna use the program called Multimeter. Over there, you can type your favorite Marvel characters, and at the end, we can create a word cloud based on your answers. So starting from now, you can type your favorite Marvel characters on Mentimeter. So maybe Jonya can send the link on YouTube.
Yes, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. So before we actually get into the topics, I want to make it clear what is cosplaying and who is considered as a cosplayer. So when I think about the typical cosplayer, the one thing came to my mind is, like the person who are dressing up like a character from Japanese anime. But I think that's not all cosplay. Like it can be also inspired from video games or like movies. Like Thomas is dressing up like so. Also, it doesn't really necessarily to dress up an outfit. It can, of course, it can be with homemade outfit, but it can also be with makeup or clothes. So I was wondering, do cosplayer always put dress up outfit and take a picture and put on Instagram. So I found a video telling about types of cosplayers, and there are actually some people who are making money out of dressing up as different characters. They constantly have to post their pictures on social media to get paid. But there are also some people who are just doing as a hobby. So some people dress up like a character and they go to like a festival like Comic Con or just walk around in the town. But some people also do it like secretly. So they dress up or like put makeup for like a character, but they just do that for like satisfy for themselves. So they do that in private, but they don't really show to others. So nobody really knows if they are cosplayers. So personally, I never considered myself as a cosplayer, but apparently I am because I like to put some costume for special events like Halloween or like just going out for a party. And that types of cosplayer is also considered as a event-only cosplayer.
Yes, thank you, Seon, for a little explanation of what the cosplay is. But I actually know that cosplay is so much more than just dressing up. It's also like the whole culture, it's worldwide community. And as you said before, a lot of cosplayers turn their hobby into business. Some form groups where they do voluntarily work. Like going to hospitals for to showing the favorite characters for kids. So yeah, well, I'm sure that we have some cosplayers in our live event now. So, and we are curious to hear stories, amazing stories that you've done while cosplaying, and write them in the chat. We will read them all. Um, Also, now that we talked about the theoretical side of the cosplaying, we would also like to hear what is the cosplay personally for you guys and for our viewers. So use the chat box again to finish the sentence. For me, cosplay is, and we will also read them all. And for now, let's play a small game where we will test, I would say, the knowledge of your knowledge of Marvel movies. And for this, we are going to use Kahoot. I hope you guys know what it is. If not, just go to Kahoot.com. And then I will show you the code now. No, I will just share it in the chat, the code, and just join. While I do this, can all of us just share what Is Cosplay is for us?
Okay, so I can
For me, I would say. Oh.
Sorry, go on.
You want to start? Sure. Okay, I'll start. For me, cosplaying is wanting to be or trying to be a different person for a day. So forget about all of your worries, and really, with cosplaying, you can adore your character that you love and show other people it, and discuss your cosplay costumes with other people, and just have a conversation about cosplaying.
Okay, interesting. Can I share my thoughts too?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for me, I think I once I dress up with a new like hero, I can change my personality like with confidence, and yeah, I think I can express myself like really like different way when I dress up or even do the makeup. I can definitely like even speaking style is also feeling different. Yeah, it's really kind of magic for me.
Yeah, I agree on that. So for me, cosplaying is just getting out of the world where I'm living now. So like in the cosplay world, I can really like just don't think about my like struggles or any like any mind something in mind. So yeah, you can actually just be yourself without like thinking about anything.
So Jane, if you could maybe share your screen
Yes.
now.
Well, first, Thomas, maybe you have some thoughts as well. What's cosplay for you? it's very interesting to hear your side as well.
Mhm.
Boy, do
Let
I
me-
have thoughts.
Yeah, I know.
So
Should I
what was that?
introduce you? Yeah,
I
let
mean,
me
I
first
can
introduce you, because I think a lot of people are wondering, like, why is there a Thor in your school there? So this is Thomas. He's our guest from America. He has a history in being an event host, being a podcaster, an actor, and of course a cosplayer. And we're really glad that he's here today. And yeah, go on, sure, show or tell us what is your thought of what cosplay means to you.
As a kid in America, Halloween was my favorite day of the year because I got to not be myself. I'm a very boring human being, I think. So when I got to dress up as just a Power Ranger, as a dragon kid, Sting, a Dallas Cowboy football player, you know, I loved that. I embodied the character. And when I was 17, I started cosplaying as Thor because I had long hair. So that was kind of fun. And it led to me just kind of finding within myself that creativity that I used to have as a child. And it is, as someone saw in the chat, it's a chance to express myself, and it's a chance to have fun without, I mean, I say without consequences, but it's not me. It's just embodying that part of my personality. So for Thor, I just become a thumbling, bumbling idiot, throw on the accent, make some jokes, throw up Mjolnir with googly eyes, and we're good. Make the children laugh. And then when I'm the Joker, it's letting the insanity out and doing really different things with the voice. And it's
Wow,
just,
you're really good at it.
thank you. Yes, that's what years of playing in the mirror will do to you. So it's really a chance to express myself and have fun, and just kind of shed, as Selena said, all the worries of being alive. Well, that sounded dark, but
Yeah, it's we understand. That's very nice that that's your point of view. So, Jane, if it's possible for you to share your screen for Kahoot.
Yes, I'm doing it now.
You're getting compliments, Thomas.
yes,
People are really
I see,
asking you for that.
I see it.
Like,
I forgot to mention that I can throw up comments.
what?
Like how? Wow.
Yeah, I forgot. It's on my end. I meant to tell you, and I remembered that I'm the only one that can do that.
Oh, this is really nice. Yeah.
So that is the Kahoot code. It's very, very needed, importante.
So can we? Yeah. Let's start. We have 6 players. Let's do it now.
Are you gonna read the question for us?
No, call
You have to guess which Marvel movie is this scene. It's pixeled, and you need to guess.
Wait,
I don't know.
there we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
Nice.
This is the next one. Wow, guys, participate, please. Okay.
I'm probably going to win this. Oh, I know it.
That was fast.
But there's a delay.
5, 4, 3,
Three,
2,
two.
1. Shazam! It's me. It was me.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay, there's the next one.
How can you not know that?
Mhm.
Ooh, Stan Lee's here.
Stanley's there. Man.
I know it.
you know everything.
Three, 2, 1. Shazam! All of them
Nobody.
got that wrong?
Nobody.
Hi.
Wow. Gameplay.
Stan Lee is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The maker better be getting this right.
What is this?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it immediately.
Man.
So small. 3, 2, 1. Shazam.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's do the next one, and the first one is still Stanley.
Mhm.
Oh, nice.
Good job, Stan. Ah,
What
Yeah.
is this one?
Legs?
I
Is
know
it?
it.
Is there legs or arms? People naked?
People are not naked. 2, 1.
Man.
That is the scene when he tells everyone how he pees in the
We're
suit.
Marvel fans.
Mhm.
It's pretty hard. I tried it myself, and it's hard to guess.
The first one is still Stanley.
Mhm.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah. Definitely.
I see a familiar character in that picture.
Yeah, I can see the trademark.
Mm.
Easy.
It's Thor. Yep.
Mhm.
Let's see. Stanley is still the first one.
Ooh, 1960.
Stanley, I'm curious now.
Oh, I know it.
Mhm.
What, you knew it within like a second.
I've seen all of these a
So
lot.
many times. So many times.
I've seen them at least twice in theaters, and I own them.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I did went to Avengers Endgame 2 times because it was such a good movie. I had to see it twice.
That's when they were through Ant-Man,
Mm.
Yes.
and we get the good old-fashioned suit up.
So Stanley win.
Oh, Stanley.
No, it's the last one. Now it's the last one.
Mhm.
But
There's one in Pacific America.
I know it.
How? It's so fast.
well, I guess the wrong one
I worship these movies.
because this one was
Yeah,
really
I get that.
I guess that's like explosion.
Good job. How do people do this?
Oh, no.
Okay. And the winner, what?
Wonder
Earthquake.
Woman.
Third,
Oh, that's the third one.
second, B.
Hey.
What an appropriate second place. The letter B.
Stanley, the first one.
nice.
Congrats.
Good job, Stanley.
Mhm.
You win honor. You did
You
great.
in a clap.
Thank you for
Yay. Thank you everyone for participating. Let's move on to our next. How do I? Yep. Did I stop sharing? Yes.
You did, yes.
words.
Yes, perfect.
So we're gonna dive deeper into the cosplaying culture, and that's where we asked our guest Thomas for. So we're gonna ask him questions about his cosplaying adventures and how he started, and so on. So the first one I'd like to start off with, like I mentioned before, you were an event host at CyberCon, and I would like to maybe ask you more about it for people to understand this, because it's different from Comic-Con, because that's what I thought of it, but it's really different. So maybe you could explain a bit.
So the CyberCon was created because on the weekend of April 17th through 19th, we were all supposed to be in Orlando, Florida for Comic-Con. It's MegaCon. It's the largest one in Florida, and it got canceled because of, good old COVID-19. And the people I was going to go with, their interview hosts, they have a YouTube channel called HWWS Web TV full of various content. They asked me if I wanted to help them put on CyberCon, which is an internet Comic-Con, or as I like to call it, the International Internet Convention known as CyberCon. We had people from Italy stream in. being a part of it. We did it for 56 straight hours, like a telethon.
Wow.
If you don't know what a telethon is, it's usually it's 72 hours, and you call in and donate money, and it's all to raise money for charity. We donated 2,535 USD to the Center for Disaster Philanthropy's COVID-19 Response Fund.
That's amazing.
Great.
Yes. So for 56 straight hours on the main feed, we had podcasters, voice actors. I interviewed the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog. I got to interview the voice of Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and a gentleman who works with Funimation. He does a bunch of character and background voices in a lot of the English dubbed animes that they do. As well as, you know, meeting new friends who I now do podcasts with. And my favorite part of it all was I got to be on the Power Rangers in Space panel. I personally had to call 3 Power Rangers and talk to them, which was a dream come true, but very nerve-wracking when you're talking to people who are your idols from when you were 7 or 8 years old. And we together were able to bring in it was a total of about 105 or 106 hours of content. We had a main feed, which would be, you know, your Hall H, if we were going to use Comic-Con terms. And then we had our vendor floor, and where people could sell comic books. So they were able to make money because their businesses were closed. And this was an opportunity for them to sell, make some money so that their doors can stay open and they don't end up going bankrupt because of the closures in the US. And it was, let's see, is there anything else? Oh, yes, you can still watch all of it. It's on if you go to facebook.com/HWWS CyberCon, it is actually, all the videos are still up there. They're in 8-hour increments. We found out that Facebook will only let you be live for 8 consecutive hours before you have to restart. I think we're the first people to find that out.
But we can still watch you on Facebook if we want to.
Yes, you can still see me on that website here and there.
That's so nice. We actually have a comment of someone because you talked about Power Rangers, and she wondered what was it? What Power Ranger you cosplayed?
I do not actually cosplay any Power Rangers because I have not wanted to spend the copious amounts of money to get it to be screen accurate, but that is actually my next one that I'm going to put money into. As I said earlier, I have a Stormbreaker that's being 3D printed, and it's going to be this tall, and it's going to be fantastic. But after that, I'm going to be getting a Green Ranger costume from the original Power Rangers, the Dragon Zord, because he's the best, and I'll fight people over that.
Okay, so maybe more about what inspired you into cosplaying? Like, what's the purpose of it for you?
The purpose for me is to never grow up and to never be an adult. So, you know, I failed, but also succeeded. I just like having fun, and that is what I do with everything as much as I can. I started truly cosplaying at 17 years old. We had this party, and it was like, dress up as a superhero. And I was like, there are no superheroes with long hair. Oh, wait, there's Thor. And so I looked up some pictures, and I was like, I can make this. And in 2 hours, I think I made a hammer out of a big box, and it was like a broom handle with just a giant box on it. A t-shirt, I sprayed circles on it, wore blue underneath, and I was like, I'm Thor. And then after that, not even 2 months, I started putting in, I think I paid $150 in buying Under Armour equipment and made what I wanted Thor to look like. Excuse me. Cough.
It's great.
Yeah.
After that, I have made 8 different variations of Thor in some way. And I usually,
for example,
I don't have pictures ready, but this is my last version. But normally what I do is I make it, and then I'll take that, and then I'll just upgrade it and upgrade it a little more and upgrade it a little more. It was okay. When did I graduate high school? So 2010 is when I had what I considered to be a really great version. But it wasn't good enough. So I made another one, which was more akin to the Thor in the movies. So then from there, I upgraded it a little bit more when the next Thor movie came out, and added a couple different a tunic, which is, it just kind of hangs down in front, but I wore my leather pants, which is exhaustingly hot, by the way. And then I just kept upgrading it with each new movie that came out. I upgraded it a little bit more. And then oh my God, yeah, holy crap. September, I started work on, I'm sorry, boss, I'll call you back. I started work on this, and this is just all EVA foam, all cosplay. It's Cosplay Yaya, I think is the brand name. They sell it at Joann's, and I see the question of how much does it cost? How much did I spend on Thor cosplays alone? That's where most of my money has gone when it comes to cosplays. Wow. Everything else, I just kind of do. This alone probably cost me about $300. This version.
Wow.
Because I bought, I think there's 4 sheets of foam, about 12 bottles of what is it? Contact cement. That's what it's called. Which is glue, and once you get it on there, it doesn't come off. And then I bought a wood burning kit so I could actually engrave into the foam the design, all the painting I painted this thing. It's shiny. It's not supposed to be shiny. I messed up, but that's okay because it works. This one, I'd probably say foam $300. I have the receipts. I'm just afraid to calculate it.
Well, they're complimenting you in the chat. Someone says, but the $300 version makes you look great, though.
Thank you. I give all credit to my parents for giving me the good genes.
Do you make your outfit by yourself, or do you also buy them?
A bit of both. So for Thor, I made all of this myself. This is actually just some kind of, you can't see. Move to the left. There's a little bit of fabric here. And then this actually comes off. So you can see, and it's multiple pieces of foam. And I used a heat gun to melt it and form it to my chest. The cape is actually removable. It's made with magnets.
Wow, with magnets.
Yeah. So there's magnets underneath there, and it just.
Do you decide like how this works, or do you look up tutorials, or are you just that creative?
A bit of both. A bit of both. I'm not that creative. I mean, I'm creative in the sense that I can picture exactly what I want. But when it comes to making it, I sometimes don't work out. This is the first one that a friend of mine, they were using my cosplay because I worked with cosplay groups. I'm sorry. Children's entertainment groups where we dress up as characters and go to birthday parties and events and kind of bring smiles and love to children. And I let them use my Thor costume, and it was already pretty worn out, and it just came back and it was all destroyed. And they're like, I'm sorry. I was like, it's okay. That gives me an excuse to make another one. They made one first because they had to do more events, and they sent me the tutorial or the template. And I printed it out. I taped it all together. I cut it. I put it on poster board, and then used that to put on the foam to outline it. This is actually 6 or 7 pieces just under this layer. And then here is 2 or 3 more layers of foam of varying sizes to add depth and dimension and make it look like I'm really muscular. And
it makes you look a lot more like her.
Yes, it very much does. And when you throw in the voice and then make some jokes and make fun of children, the parents love it. So I then took a YouTube video, which is going to be my #1 tip, is the University of YouTube is what I call it. You can learn everything from YouTube. I fixed my car because of YouTube. And I followed his template, his video on how to do things, and was able to put this together. But it's got its own unique variations in certain spots that I wanted to keep for myself.
Mhm.
But how do you do that? Do you? Sorry, you have a question, Selena?
No, go on, go on.
No, I was wondering, like, I mean, I also would like to make some cosplay outfit, but like I can't really sew. So how did you learn that?
I learned sewing at was I 8? No, I was a child. My grandma, who was born and raised in England, back in 1927, so she lived through the carpet bombings from good old Hitler. Yeah, she was not to be trifled with. She was a lovely human, but she would put you in your place, and it would make you feel bad because she was so nice. She taught me how to sew at a young age, and I spent a lot of time with her. We had a very special relationship, and I would always watch her sew. And she would use the thimbles, the old school metal thimbles, where she wouldn't get her fingers caught in the needle. And I learned from her how to use a sewing machine, and then I kind of forgot. But then I just bought one day to make my Aquaman costume. I made pants, then I did tights, and I wanted them to be for me alone. So I bought that, and I just decided, hey, I'm going to sew things with that now. I prefer hand stitching because I can do exactly what I need to. And the mechanical version always breaks in the middle of an important piece, so I usually get mad. For the cape is really where most of my sewing went for this one. It's actually one giant piece of fabric that I had to cut in half and then stitch together in the middle. You can kind of see right here. It's stitched together in the middle to make it a longer piece. And then I used a template to help get the feathering in the back to look right. So that way it would be properly done. And then I just glued it to this. If you want to learn how to sew, again, I recommend YouTube. It is very helpful. And there's a lot of cosplay tutorials out there, whether it's to hand stitch or to use a sewing machine. And I recommend knowing how to do both because they're both very helpful. Like when you put a hole in your pants on accident and you have to stitch it back together.
Yeah, it's very helpful too. I would like to maybe move on to some questions in the comments. So one question is, how many impressions can you do?
I have no idea. I do them so regularly.
Like, what characters do you mostly impress? Do an impression of?
Obviously, we have Thor, son of Dale, protector of the 9 realms, buffoon, child, big bearded, hairy fellow. And then we have the Joker, who's a little bit more like British and then also like psychotic at the same time. And it's based on the Mark Hamill version of the 1992 Batman the Animated Series. And it's ups and downs and it's painful. I gotta drink water after you.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Then I have the Emperor from Star Wars, which is a little bit just, yes. Oh, nope, Joker. Dang it. Do it. Unlimited power. Things like that. I mostly just make fun of him. That's my made fun of voice. I have a really bad Batman. I call it. It's an impression of someone make an impression of Batman. So hey, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, that's very similar.
I'm Batman.
That's amazing.
Of course, my favorite Star Wars character from the prequels, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. She seems to be on top of things. There's one more. What was it? I just had it. Batman. Oh yes, my personal favorite because it scares children. Venom.
Whoa!
All you gotta do.
Wow, that's a real thing.
Wow. Venom.
That's a real thing. I'm really impressed.
I can do a Hulk roar too, but that'll blow everyone's eardrums. That is Venom mixed with just being loud and eccentric. Oh yeah, there is like Hulk from Thor Ragnarok. Thor sad.
Oh yeah.
Thor like water. Hulk like fire.
Yeah.
We have another question. How do you choose who you're going to cosplay as? Do you pick your character that has already some similarities with your own looks?
Yes, actually, the quick answer is yes. I do usually pick the ones that have similarities to my own look. You know, Thor was my first one. My second one was Star-Lord. That was actually when I had short hair. What a bad time in my life that was. I bought a leather jacket for Star-Lord, and I actually wear it to this day because it is amazingly comfortable, and it just fits my style. And then I became the Joker because I had short hair and I was growing it out. And I did it with a really long beard, which scared everybody because I painted it white. And then I recently did Aquaman, which was to, I was bored and I wanted to do an Aquaman costume. And it's because I have long hair and I look like the comic version of Aquaman, not so much like Jason Momoa, which is a bummer. I mean, everyone wants to look like Jason Momoa.
You kind of can look like Jason Momoa. You have the hair.
I've got the hair. I've got the beard. I have the sense of humor. Can
you swim?
I can swim. I love swimming. It is my favorite workout, actually, because it hits everything all at once, and then you sleep like a baby. But I also have one that I do. I call it it's Bad Man Vegeta. So if you ever watch Dragon Ball Z in the original, in Dragon Ball Z, when Trunks shows up the first time after the Namek saga and Frieza's all like a cyborg Frieza, Vegeta's wearing yellow pants and a pink shirt that says Bad Man on the back. I have that shirt and I have pants that I use for that, but I've done my own spin where I have yellow pants that are Hawaiian silk pants and I wear those instead. And I call it my Bad Man Vegeta or Bad Man Trunks because Trunks has long hair. And it's just kind of a comfortable cosplay. I also do a Magnum Thor eye because I just got bored and I had a Hawaiian shirt and khakis that look like Magnum PI from the 80s. And I wore that at Pensacon too, and I was surprised. People actually knew. They're like, Magnum PI, and I was like, I didn't think anyone was gonna get that. I feel good now. Thank you.
You get like recognized. Like if you're not like a standard character like Thor, and you're like a minor role, people recognize.
Yeah, it is fantastic. I went to the Thor Ragnarok premiere. Ironically, right after hosting a talent show at Florida Tech where I was working, and I went in Thor costume, and the girl, she was like 18. She's like, "Oh my God, you actually look like him." And I was like, "Yeah, I get that a lot. It's just the hair." She's like, "No, you seriously look more like Chris Hemsworth than the guy we had here." And I was like, stop it. I was like, "But I am a professional." And I was like, and I handed my card, and I was like, "You can hire me here."
Make a promotion. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I had to. I needed to pay for my bills, you know.
Yeah, can do that. So I have maybe another question about the culture. Are there any annoying stereotypes about cosplaying that every cosplayer meets? About being a cosplayer?
Yes. So for people that don't understand cosplay, they always will go, "Why are you spending money on these costumes like all this kid stuff?" My dad asked me that sometimes, and then he was asking me a while back, and then I showed him one thing, and he goes, holy crap." He's like, "You made this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's an idea." And he's like, "Wow, okay, that makes sense." Fun fact, my first cosplay was Tarzan from the Disney movie. My mom was very upset because I was 7 and I destroyed all of her pantyhose to get it exactly right. She was very displeased. But it was perfect. It was perfect. It was screen accurate. And then another one that really frustrates me is it's kind of a calling card amongst cosplayers. That's that cosplay is not consent. So this is especially for the ladies side. Ladies, obviously, in comic books, anime, they're always sexualized. And when some of them will dress up, in accurate form of that, there are douchebags who think that it is okay to just go up and grope them. and that's not. And that mindset of that, oh, you're looking this way, so I can do this, it's a dying stereotype, thank God, but it's still a stereotype that exists, and it's a reminder that cosplay is not consent. Also, old ladies really love groping my butt, and I'm not a fan of that. Yes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was an awkward encounter.
Yeah, you never expect it to be the old ladies, but you should expect it to be the old ladies.
Nobody.
Like
Everybody.
everybody said, like typical cosplayer in my mind is like a people like cosplaying like Japanese anime. Do you also like Japanese anime, or like just in general anime?
I am not as big into it. What is my nephew's really into it. What does he call it? Weeb? I think it's a weeb or something. I don't know. It's an anime fan term or something apparently. I like Dragon Ball Z. I watched Yu Yu Hakusho a little bit growing up. I love the art style of anime, but I haven't actually sat down to watch much of any of them, just because I'm much more into the live action side of things. Movies and TV obviously have shaped my entire life, which is why I'm an actor. And so I like it, but I'm not like ingrained in it. Dragon Ball Z is, the one that I always go to, but at the same time, everyone always, in America, people are like, that's not even anime. And I'm like, I like Dragon Ball Z. That's why I don't say I'm an anime fan. I like Dragon Ball Z. But there are certain ones that I absolutely love. Yu Yu Hakusho is a great one. I'm not sure if Digimon counts. It was made in Japan.
Yeah, I'm also a fan.
I love Digimon, and I get so much crap because everyone growing up in America, it was Pokemon, and I was a poor kid who did not have cable, so I watched Digimon because it was free on Fox, which was one of the 4 channels we got on our TV. So everyone always made fun of me because I like Digimon, and now I meet people and they're like, I like Pokemon, but Digimon is a superior storyline. And I'm like, thank you. I feel vindicated.
Well, I'm more a Pokemon fan, but
I'm more a Digimon fan.
so maybe we could wrap this kind of up. Like, I want to ask you like one more question. Maybe then the chat could ask some questions.
Okay.
But how has your life been changed since you became a cosplayer? Sip, drink some water.
I was a shy kid growing up, and that makes water everywhere. That makes everyone always laugh because they're like, I'm still shy. I'm an introverted extrovert. I gain my energy from just being alive, I guess is a good way to put it. I can do stuff on my own, or I can hang out with a group of people that I really enjoy, and I can do both. I'm an introverted extrovert. I gain all of my what's the word? All of my goals and my energy, my intrinsic rewards come from within. I want to do this because it'll make me feel good. It'll make me happy. When I started cosplaying, I just did it because it would have been a great way to just be somebody different. And I love Halloween. So it became a thing where, I'm Thor. I can do the voice. I can kind of act a little bit and work on a character. And then that actually is what led me into acting as well. Without cosplaying as Thor, I was doing it for 3 or 4 years by the point that I started doing improv comedy in college, where I joined an improv troupe. So without doing that, I would have never hopped into the game of entertaining others and finding out how much I love it. Because it's all, I do it for myself. But when you get the feedback that, I love your costume. Oh my God, you sound just like him. You look like him. You're funnier than him. That's my favorite. I love being told I'm funnier than actual Thor. That is the stuff that really makes me, you feel validated. So it's nice getting that, but I'm going to do it anyway. I mean, on this YouTube channel that you're all watching, Life of Thor, I have videos where I dress up as Thor and I either interview people, and that's really just a way for me to meet people and talk to other people and share their story. because I'm terrible at promoting myself, but I love promoting other people. And then I have Thor watches The Mandalorian, where I just by myself watch the Mandalorian from Disney Plus. And spoiler alert, I spoil the whole show. And I just make fun of myself pretty much the entire time. I'm just being the child that is within me. And cosplays really let me tap back into that inner child who is never going to grow up past the age of 7. And although I'm responsible and I pay my bills and I do all these adult things, I'm still a child.
Yeah, we're all pure soul.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
yeah.
Yeah, so let's wrap it up. And to finish our event, Thomas, can you please share like top, I don't know, 5 tips and tricks for cosplay beginners who are just starting to cosplay? What would be the advice for them?
Top 5. Okay,
Or
so
maybe 3 like short versions.
yeah, number 1, research. Research is incredibly important. When I wanted to do this, I found screen grabs from the movie. I watched the movie multiple times. I mean, that was going to happen anyway. When they released the toys, I'd go find pictures of the toys, find out, oh, they have this shape right here differently, so let me try and do that. Research is incredibly important because the more you visualize it, the easier it is to bring it into reality. YouTube, if you need to know how to do something, YouTube it. Like I said earlier, I fixed my car because of YouTube. The person that I got the template, or that the template was bought from, has a YouTube video going through it. So I would go back to that as reference point. And you can also, if you don't own the movie, you can find clips of that and find different versions. That's for the introverted part. The next one for me is more of the extroverted side of cosplaying, networking. Meet other people that are cosplaying, talk to other people that cosplay. Cosplayers are also humbled when you ask them for help, because for the most part, we're all shy introverts, which is why we cosplay. And when someone asks me for tips, I'm like, I don't even know how to answer your questions because I don't know what I do. I just kind of do it in a flow state, and then it's done. And I'm like, oh, wow, that was 3 months of work. That was fast. What is my, hold on, I have another one written. Can't read it. Oh, yeah. I don't have a 5th one, but I have a 4th one.
Okay.
Hold on to anything that you think might be useful for a cosplay. This strap I had in a box for 7-8 years, and it started breaking, the original strap. So I took it and I glued the whole thing, and now it's sturdier than it ever has been, and I can swing it around. I also, if like all of my cosplays, I recycle in some way. So on this belt is from a different cosplay. There's something underneath. Oh yeah, there's stuff that I have like in different parts of this that are from older cosplays, like the elastic, certain fabrics underneath. And I have pieces that I've been holding on to for 10 years now that I know will be useful in a cosplay in the future. I just need to hold on to it long enough to get the inspiration. Like, I'm going to build a lightsaber one day, and I have plenty of stuff to do that with, that I find random metal on the ground. Tip 5, if you find random stuff, sanitize it.
Yeah.
Sanitize it.
Experiences with that.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, that's a good
Okay,
tip.
one last little question we have in the chat. Why is Thomas so sweet?
Yeah.
I drink a lot of chocolate milk. I don't know.
But let's wrap it up, Jane.
Mhm.
Yes. It's the end of our event. Thank you everyone for participating, playing with us the Kahoot game, also being active on the chat, asking questions. Very, very big thank you for Thomas, who joined us today. A real life hero, lifesaver, I would say.
Really.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
hope everyone enjoyed it. It was really nice.
Yeah, also the last thing I wanted to ask Thomas, because there are still like some question that we didn't ask you, like even in the comments. So are there any ways that we can like contact you and ask like a personal question?
Yes, that's a good question. So I'm across all of the social medias. On Facebook, you can find me. My personal one is Thomas Carter Rochester, but you can also find my acting page, which is a little easier to find at facebook.com/Thomas Carter Rochester, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces. On Instagram, it is at Thomas Carter Rochester, no hyphens, no spaces. Twitter is TC Rochester Act. That is TC Rochester ACT. On YouTube, right here, Life of Thor channel. If you hit the subscribe button and you send a message, which I don't know how to send a message through YouTube, but I know you can, I'll answer that as well. I'm on TikTok, but I don't post a lot of stuff. But it's at Thor Son of Dale, where you can follow me, and I will get back to you as fast as I can and help you as best I can, because giving a helping hand is what we're all here for.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
With your tips and tricks and all of your information.
Oh, thank you. It was good. It was good meeting everyone, and I'm going to go ahead and end the broadcast.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for participating.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.